Hi YouTube, welcome back to another video, Wtf Rc Cars. So, question I keep seeing coming up, the NB4. So, battery in the handle. I've seen a few people wonder if you can change these or what's involved. So, basically if you grab your NB4 and you take the base battery off, let's make sure that's not powered up. And then the next thing you want to do is remove this grip. Now, if you get your fingers under it, it does pop off pretty easy. So if you start at one side, you can work your way around, and you've just got these little tags that go into these holes. And if you look through the gap, you can actually see the 18650 battery that's in there. So to get to that, what we're going to do at first, you've got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 little screws. So one there, then one there, one there, and one just up at top. So we're going to take them out first, and I use this MIP 1.5mm driver. So we should. Now what I like to do if I'm taking something apart like this is put the screws in the order that I take them out, so it does make it a lot easier to put back together, because you're not guessing where you've took the screws from. Now I'm not sure if on the NB4 they're all actually the same size, but we'll soon see. So the first two from the front look like they are. Let's see if I can get this one out. And I believe that they're actually, the NB4 is designed to be taken apart to get to the battery. So I don't think you have anything like buttons flying off or anything like that when you do take it apart just to get to the battery. I'm pretty sure it can just come apart, and it should be quite an easy process. Now, I'm not sure if you also have to disassemble the bottom bit of the handle, but we shall see in a moment. So the first screws that we've removed are all the ones at the top. This one, that one, that one, that one, and that one. Then you've got one more down at the bottom near this base. So we'll get that one out as well. Let's take these two out at the bottom. Now, it looks like these are maybe Phillips. So that's one from the base. So all the screws up to now have been identical apart from these two down at this collar around the base of it where the base battery fits. But those two are also the same. So that just lifts off. Put that there with them two screws. And that's the other side, just pops off. So you've got a bunch of screws in the bottom here. So I'm going to remove one of those on the side that we're trying to remove, see if that frees it up at all. That's going to need a smaller bit. Still feels pretty tightly fastened together. This is also the port interface where the dongle goes to let it fasten into the let it bind to the Kyosho Mini Z's. So it looks like once you remove that one and the front one, you can leave the other one in. But I do think this sticker on the front of mine is going to make it a bit awkward to get this front part to separate. So might be able to cut that straight down the seam on it. I could actually take this off, because on mine you never see this because I have the phone holder fitted all the time. Yeah, it looks like it's just that sticker holding it together. I think we're going to need to remove that first. That just lifts up, and it is keyed, so it will only go on one way, so you haven't got to worry about lining it up. And then we should be able to carefully separate this and get to the battery. And we've definitely got no more screws. So if you carefully lift it up at both the front and back, and then you don't have to worry, there's nothing fastened to this middle button. And there you have the 18650. Now, I've got a couple of 18650s at my vape mod, and they're exactly the same size. So you can buy any standard 18650 battery for a vape mod or anything. Let's see if I can get you close up. That's the specs of the one that's actually in it. So it's 2600 amp hour and it's 3.6 volt. And you can also see on the back here, that's one of the hidden buttons, and there's one on the other side that you can see just through this tiny hole here, and that's the one when people are telling you to pull the trigger off and press and hold the button in to do a factory reset. If you put a small Allen key or screwdriver through that hole, press that button down, press and hold the power button, it'll also reset your MB4. But yeah, they're not soldered or anything, they're just on a standard lift out battery connector. So basically what you should be able to do is, if you just lift it up, you can just take the battery out, swap it for your new battery, just drop it in, and then to put it back together, make sure this front little piece of rubber is in place. Then you get this, make sure you don't knock that little button out. So all you have to do then is lay it back over the top, and you just drop it down, make sure this bottom bit's lined up and it clips in, and then just carefully put it back together. And then you want that dial, and you've got two little notches on the bottom, and you just line them up and push it back on. So that gets your little variable dial back in place. So we'll start by putting the two tiny screws back in the bottom. And just bear in mind you are screwing these into plastic, so don't go over enthusiastic with them. They have got really small heads on them, and as I say, it's also plastic you're screwing it into, so you are likely to strip the threads. So the base mount, you just put one of them back into position, drop the top one on, and then you've got the two screws that hold that together. See if I can get that lined up. So it is quite an easy task to swap that battery out. Up to now we've got 3 of these remotes and not had a problem with them at all. But I just thought you might find it handy if I do a video showing you how to get to it should you need to. So that's the 2 batteries back in the bottom. So sorry, 2 screws back in the bottom. Got batteries on my mind. Then we're going to have to put these screws back in, and these again are with the 1.5mm driver. So all these are all the same size, so you've not got to worry about which ones go where. But it is nice that this battery is not soldered in, so it's not awkward to replace. And they're also, there's nothing special about them. The only thing you do need to be careful with, especially if you're buying them from a somewhere that supplies them to vapes for vape mods. With vape mods you can get protected and unprotected cells, and the protected ones have a circuit built in that won't let you over discharge them, but the problem with them is they're slightly longer. And I know a few people have had issues with vape mods where they bought the protected ones and they don't fit in. And then they also have issues where they also won't charge when they start getting to a certain level. So you don't want the protected ones if you're buying a vape mod battery. But they are just 18650s. You can go for the really high capacity ones as well, because you don't need high current draw for the NB4. So you don't need to buy the ones that can have 35-40 amp current draw. You can buy the ones with low current draw that are really high capacity, and I believe I've seen genuine ones over 3000 milliamp hour. So if you want to extend the runtime of your NB4, that'd be a really easy way for you to do it. And then this, you've just got a whole bunch of these little clips, and you just line it up. It's got a little slot at the top, and I find it easier if you get that one in first. So if you try and line that up first and then work the handle round, and then you just go around pushing them in, it seems to be the easiest way to get it back together. And then if you want to try and make sure you've connected the battery up properly, press and hold the button without the base battery on, you know you're running off the internal battery. So once that's all back together, then clip your base battery back on, and off you go. One fully rebuilt with a new battery NB4. So thanks again for watching Wtf Rc Cars. If you like this video and find it useful, don't forget to like and subscribe. Don't forget to hit the notification bell and share to friends and family or anybody you think may find this useful. And I'll catch you guys again in the next one.